My name is Kelsey Moody, and I presently, I designed and I currently direct the academic initiative for SENS Foundation. And it's the purpose of my presentation today to expose a lot of you to the research that we've been doing and the efforts that we've been coordinating with our student body. Today during my discussion, I'm going to be doing an overview of SENS4, as we've come to call it. We like very difficult acronyms, as you can tell, working with SENS Foundation. So we worked out SENS4. So we're going to do an overview of that, the goals of this program, support initiatives, and a little bit of information about what we do, and then of course how you guys can get involved, because as researchers, prospective donors, and students, we want you guys to be involved in this program, so I'll talk about that a little bit as well. So to start off with, SENS4 is a student-focused research and development program. It started under the Methuselah Foundation as M-Fury. Some of you might be familiar with that name. It's now under the SENS Foundation, of course. And it includes provisions for undergraduate, graduate, and medical students within the program. Very simplified, what we do, we have a student that's interested in some sort of regenerative medicine. That student, of course, will enroll for our program, and we're going to set them up with a mentor. Now, in some instances, that mentor will be provided by the foundation, by our volunteer staff, or in other instances, they'll work with a faculty mentor at their particular university. And of course, we're all a research-oriented group, so we're interested in having those students do a research project. In research, of course, it's the final results that a lot of people are interested in. So the students are going to report the results, typically in the form of some sort of publication or presentation. So this is the very watered-down, cut-and-dried version of what it is we do. The main goals for this program, of course, are to generate student interest in longevity science. A lot of students aren't aware of this topic. You don't go around your university and see the Department of Regenerative Medicine, or at least any university I've been to in the United States, I haven't seen it. If it's there, let me know, I'll be transferring. But presently I'm not aware of that sort of exposure existing. So we do a lot of stuff with advocacy, strictly speaking, through our student chapters. We also provide opportunities for students in the form of scholarships, networking, and direct mentoring of them on their research projects. The biggest thing that we're about, and I think the staff and students that work with us already will agree with this, is that we provide students with unique experiences to enhance their careers and academic competency. I'm sure a lot of you guys that are researchers did not have people teaching you things about research from the bureaucratic and political perspective as you're going through your undergraduate studies. With our students, we basically put a large focus on writing and presenting at a professional level. We have undergraduate students that take on the responsibilities of graduate students. We have graduate students that take on the responsibilities of PIs, and we have a mentoring system whereby students are bumped up a notch and they're exposed to things at a higher level. All of the students in our program write their own budget, grant, and they assist in the development of their project proposals for their particular projects. That includes our undergraduates. Our students are encouraged to achieve publishable results, and we assist them in submitting works for publication and moving in that direction. We encourage our students to present at local conferences and poster sessions, and this is just a focus on what academia really is that most students really don't have exposure to until they're later on in their graduate studies or even postdocs. We also do, we both mentor our students and give our students the opportunity to mentor other students through small research teams and things of that nature. The types of work that we support advocacy and outreach, like I mentioned, through our student chapters. We also support individual research projects in the form of literature reviews and bench work. Group research projects, of course, forming research teams, and again, that can be either literature review oriented or actual hands-on wet lab work. And then we also support leadership projects, which again would be students coordinating their own particular initiatives. And that's done through a student leadership training program that we've developed. So this entire process was kind of pioneered off of a laboratory project that started in fall of 2008. And for the prospective donors in here, you might find this most interesting. So the project we developed in collaboration with John Schlorendorn from the SENS Research Center was a project on Alzheimer's disease, namely how cathepsin D affects tau protein degradation. This was modified in collaboration with the actual PI that's working on this project slightly. But basically we're looking at how oxidation of cathepsin D affects tau protein degradation. This is in progress currently at State University of New York at Plattsburgh. It occupies a full biochemistry lab at that university, and it has 2 students and a PI currently working on it. It's scheduled to be completed in spring 2010, and the direct costs for the research were $2,000 for raw materials to the foundation, and we've provided, by the time the project's done, we'll provide approximately $3,000 in scholarships. So we could say, we'll estimate it and say that this project cost $5,000 to get it done. I went through and I did the best I could to compile an estimate of what this exact project would cost if we were to outsource it to a private facility. And I was looking at something in the neighborhood of $35,000. I would like to indicate too that that's a very conservative estimate, but for argument's sake we'll say it's $35,000. But this is a very cost-effective way of conducting research. I have had people talk to me about concerns. Well, if you have these student researchers that are doing these projects, does that void the legitimacy of the research that's being conducted? And the answer is no, because what you have happening is you have a PI or a postdoc that's working hand in hand with these students, not only educating them, but overseeing their work and making sure it's being conducted appropriately. So what you're really getting for this amount of money is full access to a lab, or at least space in a lab, and a postdoc at no additional cost. I think it's a great deal. I'm very fond of this. But then again, it is my program, so I'm a little biased.